ready for service. Be ready for service. Since you, listen, be ready for service. In your elevated position, let me talk about this because, you know, when it talks about Ephesians 6 and 12, okay, it indicates, like I said, that the conflict with Satan is spiritual. But the first element of our armor, we got armor, we got gear, we got to get geared up, right? It's truth. This belt immediately sets the believer apart from the world. Since Satan is the father of lies, according to John 8 and 44, it says, you are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires, right? He was a murderer from the beginning. He does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. So when he lies, he speaks out of his own character. For he is a liar and the father of lies. So anybody that lie, okay, they speak it out of their own character. And guess what? They will do their father's desires, which is their father, the devil. So listen, this is what sets you apart in your elevated position, okay? This is why you got to put on a breastplate of righteousness. We got to wear our gear. We got to get geared up with the whole armor of God in your elevated position that you're going to acknowledge that you're walking in, right? So then it talks about verse 15 speaks of the preparation of the feet for spiritual conflict, okay? In warfare, sometimes the enemy, they place dangerous obstacles in the path of advancing soldiers. Okay? The enemy, him and his minions, they try to stop you in your tracks. They'll try to stop you from walking in your purpose and doing what it is that God has called you to do in this elevated position. So don't be tricked. So listen to this. The ideal, the preparation of the gospel of peace is what we need to advance into Satan's territory, right? We got to be aware that there will be traps. So the message of grace is essential to winning souls to Christ. And we must be prepared with the gospel. Satan has many obstacles, I'm telling you, placed in the path to halt. So the unsaved person who has no hope of warding off the blows of false doctrine because he is without the helmet of salvation. His mind is also incapable of discerning between spiritual truth and spiritual deception, right? Now also verse 17, it interprets the sword of the Spirit as the word of God. So this is one of our other pieces of spiritual armor for defense. The sword of the Spirit allows us to take the offense. The sword analogy, it speaks of the holiness and the power of the word of God. There is no greater spiritual weapon, okay? So even in Jesus, in his temptations in the desert, the word of God was always his overpowering response to Satan. What a blessing that the same word is available to us. It is the word of God, for it is written. And we're told to pray, okay, with the mind of Christ, with his heart, his priorities, in addition to wearing the full armor of God. We cannot neglect prayer, as it is a means by which we draw spiritual strength from, you guys. And without prayer, without reliance upon God, our efforts at spiritual warfare are empty, futile. Listen. If you want land, you're going to have land. If you want livestock, you're going to have livestock. Okay? Because see, you didn't arrive now. You're already, baby, in the promised land. Your elevated position brought you to the promised land.